Ben Shelton's Wimbledon breakthrough. Andy Roddick predicts Grand Slam success. Is Ben Shelton the next American tennis superstar? That's the question on everyone's mind after his electrifying run at Wimbledon 2025. And Andy Roddick isn't holding back with his answer. The former US Open champion has made a headline-grabbing prediction about Shelton's future at Grand Slam tournaments. And his comments are already stirring debate among fans and experts alike. But here's where it gets controversial. Roddick believes Shelton has crossed a threshold that only a handful of players ever reach. Andy Roddick's eye-opening take on Shelton's Grand Slam trajectory. In a recent episode on his YouTube channel, Andy Roddick Served Media, Roddick broke down exactly why he thinks Ben Shelton is now part of tennis's elite. Roddick didn't just praise Shelton's raw talent, he focused on the young American's rapid improvement on grass, a surface that has historically challenged even the best players. What really stood out to me was how lost Shelton looked on grass just a couple of weeks before Wimbledon. Roddick explained, his performances were nothing special, but then suddenly he's making a deep run at a slam. That's not luck, that's a sign of a player who's learning to adapt and thrive under pressure. And this is the part most people miss. Roddick claims that Shelton is no longer just hoping for a good result at the majors. Instead, he's now one of those rare competitors who expects to go deep at every Grand Slam. According to Roddick, for the first time, I think he's on that shortlist. Maybe 3 or 4 guys who you look at and say he should be in the mix at every slam. That's a huge mental shift. Roddick also offered some technical insights, especially about the adjustments needed to challenge the very best. He recounted watching Shelton face world number 1 Jannik, analysing a key moment. I saw Ben hit 107 miles per hour kick serve out wide to Sinner's backhand. Against most players, that's a great play. But against someone like Sinner, it's not enough. You need more variety, more precision. That's the level he's aiming for now. Shelton's breakthrough Wimbledon, a closer look. Shelton's journey to the Wimbledon quarterfinals was nothing short of remarkable. At just 22 years old, he became the youngest American to reach this stage since Andy Roddick himself did it back in 2004. His path wasn't easy. He had to overcome early struggles on grass, a surface that demands quick adaptation and a different style of play compared to hard courts for clay. In the opening round, Shelton dispatched Rinky Hijikata in straight sets, finishing the match in just over a minute after an overnight suspension. He then powered past Marton Fucsovics and battled through a tough 4-setter against Lorenzo Sonego. Each victory showcased not just his athleticism, but also his growing tactical awareness and mental toughness. The quarterfinal clash with Jannik Sinner, the world's top-ranked player, ultimately ended Shelton's run. Sinner prevailed in straight sets, but the scoreline doesn't tell the whole story. Throughout the tournament, Shelton demonstrated a newfound confidence on grass and an ability to handle the unique pressures of Grand Slam tennis. A serve that's turning heads and sparking debate. One aspect of Shelton's game that's impossible to ignore is his serve. Clocking in at over 140 miles per hour, his first serve is already drawing comparisons to Roddick's legendary delivery. But what really sets Shelton apart is his second serve, which often reaches speeds of 125 miles per hour or more. Most players dial back their pace on the second serve to avoid double faults, but Shelton's aggressive approach keeps opponents constantly on edge. Is this high-risk, high-reward strategy sustainable at the very top level? That's a question that's sure to divide opinion. Shelton also made history as the first left-handed American man to reach the Wimbledon 4th round since John McEnroe in 1992, a milestone that highlights just how rare his achievement is. So what do you think? Is Andy Roddick right to place Ben Shelton among the sports elite so soon? Or is it too early to make such bold predictions? Does Shelton's fearless serving style give him an edge? Or could it backfire against the best in the world? Share your thoughts in the comments. This is one debate that's just getting started. Ben Shelton's strategy to beat Jannik Sinner. A deep dive. In a bold declaration, Ben Shelton claims he's cracked the code to beating the seemingly unbeatable Jannik Sinner in their next encounter. But can he really put his words into action? Shelton's confidence comes on the heels of a convincing opening round victory at the Washington Open, where he defeated fellow American Mackenzie McDonald 6-3, 6-4. Known for his powerful serve and all-court prowess, Shelton's game was firing on all cylinders as he cruised to a comfortable win. Next up for Shelton is Gabriel Diallo, who pushed Taylor Fritz to 5 sets in the second round of Wimbledon. Speaking of Wimbledon, Shelton had a remarkable run at the tournament, reaching the quarterfinals before ultimately falling to Sinner. But Shelton's not one to dwell on past losses. Instead, he's focused on what he did right when he beat Sinner in their 2023 meeting at the Shanghai Masters. In a nail-biting match, Shelton battled back from a set down to claim victory, winning 2-6, 6-3, 7-6. Fast forward to the present, and Shelton's now ranked 8th in the world, while Sinner has become a 4-time Grand Slam champion. So what's Shelton's secret to beating the Italian superstar? According to him, it's all about being aggressive and taking away time from his opponent. "I think I'm a good athlete, and I think I'm an all-court player," Shelton said in a post-match interview. "I don't think a lot of guys are as willing to come to the net anymore. The time that I beat Sinner, I was coming into the net with no hesitation. That's the style of tennis I like to play to compete and be at the top level." Shelton's willingness to take risks and impose his will on his opponents is admirable, but it's not going to be easy against Sinner, who has dominated their head-to-head since their first meeting. Since that 2023 Shanghai Masters match, Sinner has recorded victories over Shelton in Vienna, Indian Wells, Shanghai, Australia, and twice at Wimbledon. This isn't a knock on Shelton, though. Sinner has become a near unstoppable force on the ATP Tour, as demonstrated by his dominance across the Grand Slams. The Italian has won 3 of the last 4 Grand Slams and came within a point of achieving something only Novak Djokovic and Rod Laver have achieved in the Open era. So, can Shelton really be Sinner in their next encounter? It's a tough ask. Mitch Shelton's confidence and determination are undeniable. As he continues to improve his game, he's got his sights set on closing the gap between himself and the top players. "I want to keep continuing to improve, and I think the exciting thing is there are a lot of areas I see I can improve," Shelton said. "Closing that gap is a good goal for me." But here's where it gets interesting. Do you think Shelton has what it takes to beat Sinner in their next match? Can he really put his word into action and take down the Italian superstar? Let us know in the comments.